We're gonna hear a lot about that.
A little award, okay? Just a little award.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my EGOT. I should have said that on air. But
what is the rest of it?
Okay, so I got the Eclipse Award a couple months ago.
Okay.
That's the E.
Yeah.
And this is the one to watch.
Okay.
Which is the O.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay, so
I've gotten a couple more awards this year, but they don't go with the T and the G.
I was about to say, what would the T and the G, what do we have out there?
What I was thinking is, we do an award and then I put the on the beginning.
Okay.
I gotta get one more award and then I put the award.
I love
that. You could get an ECOT and get yourself a Caring for Community, but you can't really take a Caring for Community award because that's your own job.
Can I give myself an award?
Can you give yourself an award?
I don't think Caroline would like that for real.
To complete the cycle? You're like, oh no, it's me. You announce it, you're like, and the winner is me.
No, exactly. That's what I'm trying to do. I can get an ECOT.
Yeah.
I'm going to think about that for next year.
Yeah. That feels like a very Kanye West thing to do, right? Congratulations to
everybody
myself.
wanted to know what I would do if I didn't win.
Yeah.
And now you'll never know.
Exactly.
Okay. You start us.
We're ready.
Okay.
Now you go ahead. Launch it.
Welcome to Envision Radio for United Way of Greater Charlottesville and City of Promise and News Radio 98.9, 1070 AM WINA. And brought to you by the Jefferson School Foundation with Markiana and Price, coming to you from right here in the studio in downtown Charlottesville. We've already been chit-chatting and yapping away before the episode even started. The weather is perfect. I got me a little sweater on. I don't know. This episode feel like it's going to be one of the best. We're thrilled to be joined by Daisa Pascall. This is from her bio. I'm always reading it. A lover of all things nature, a teacher of the arts, a farmer, a mother, and owner of We Grow, a variety garden, indoor, outdoor, and design florist plant shop.
Okay.
But most excitingly for me, our next interview on this episode of Envision Radio.
And showed up with plants.
Hey, she gave us plants, y'all. I'm a plant lover. Like, I'm a plant, not a plant lover. I'm a plant mother.
Plant mama.
I'm a plant mother.
Are you?
I love it. Thank you. That was the best introduction. I feel so welcome. I'm like,
DJ, spin the track.
Whole thing. Right? It's like a whole, yeah. We've been talking about trying to get like 94 Bulls music.
Yeah, we want a little music.
Like,
okay. We got pay. I think you got to pay people for copyright.
Our royalty budget's not very big.
But if we just do the beats ourselves, I don't know if we got to pay.
Should we talk to Jefferson School Foundation? we need a couple more to get a track here before or pay for the potential lawsuit. I'm not sure which one's which.
Look, they are not on our side that much, okay?
I don't think there's an FCC anymore, right?
That is true. That is true.
Gone?
Well, I mean, the government's technically frozen, so no one's watching.
Actually, plot twist.
Honestly,
we're not leaning in the right way.
I know.
Well, I did see that thing that was like, air travel's about to grind to a halt.
Oh wow, because of the
shutdown.
Yeah.
Oh, because they don't have enough air controllers, I thought.
Or anybody doing anything.
Oh, okay, well, I'm about to fly.
So I was about to say, I would go.
I gotta fly
now.
Not now, in January.
Oh, well, we should be okay by then.
I don't know. The longest shutdown start. The number of days is for the longest is this week, right?
No, it was like 2 days. It was like 2 days ago, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So 30, 38, right? 39, 40.
Somewhere in there.
Ooh, way too many.
Yeah.
We beat records.
Yeah, we beat records. Fly international if you have somewhere to go, right?
This is unprecedented times of unprecedented times.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of that.
I mean, I think we're all at the just laugh stage, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We're like, okay, this has got to be
Black people coin, you got to laugh to keep from crying. Right. And that's why we are so hilarious.
Right? Every day I keep waiting for Ashton Kutcher. Like, gotcha. Yeah. Like, every day.
Lord.
I just want him to, pop out from behind the door.
I know he's back here.
All right, this is a social experiment. You all failed.
Yeah. You lost.
Failed.
You lost. Everyone lost.
We're in a 60 Minutes episode. What would you do? And none of us are doing what we're supposed to do.
No, that is true.
I've seen those episodes and I get scared. I'm like, I was so paranoid as a child. I'm like, I got to be making the right decisions for the audience. Like, they're going to be judging me if I don't go up and help that kid that the mama was just yelling at when she went to the bathroom.
Yeah. One of those, like, hidden camera things?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm watching.
You just end up talking.
Like,
you just end up talking to strangers. She's like, what are you doing?
I was like, are you okay, young sir? I saw her treating you bad. Do you want me to say something? That's how I've been acting. Just in case I'm on camera.
Just in case.
Yeah, from my,
What is this, the Truman
get my
Show?
brain
Like, what do you...
Yeah.
No, I'm scared of that too. I think this
crazy.
is all Truman.
That's crazy.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, if it is, where that paycheck at?
Yeah, no, that's right. They were doing unpaid labor for Truman, actually. He was in a one-man union and couldn't get paid. He knew he was on camera.
He had no leverage.
He had no leverage. He was trying to get away.
Oh, man.
But anyway.
Deja, how are you?
I'm good. I'm not in the classroom, so this is different.
Yeah.
I'm used to little bit more people, a little bit louder.
Okay.
But,
You're teaching the community today.
There you go. That's it. There you go.
Look
That's
at that.
nice. That was good. That was good.
All right. Yes. I'm so glad to be here. I feel like one of the things that I love to do the most is talk about myself. So when I had
You're
the
in the right
opportunity,
place.
I said,
You're in the right place.
I love to talk about me.
Well, get after it. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, so I'm born and raised from Charlottesville. Native. Actually, funny story, I went to the middle school that I now teach at. So a few of the teachers that were my teachers are still there.
Yeah.
Shout out to Miss Cooper in the front. Everybody
Shout out to Miss Cooper.
Love Miss Cooper.
That's a teacher name.
Right, Miss Cooper. Exactly. She's the best. And so, growing up, I always loved plants, nature, anything creative. When like cameras first became digital.
When was that?
Oh gosh, I think I was like maybe 12, 11 when I got my first like real digital camera. It was one of those real big brick silver things.
Yeah, sure.
And it was a Canon, and I went crazy. Like I think I was taking more pictures than anybody. Ansel Adams has probably ever taken his entire life. Like I was just going snapping, and my mom's like, "Oh, you're so good at this." But I was so focused on like sports and things like that. I did student training all through high school. So I went into college majoring in kinesiology, which is like the study of movement in the body. And I wanted to be an athletic trainer, and I love that. And then I got to the University of Kentucky, which is where I attended, and went to the first training room session. And I was like, oh no, this is not for me.
What about it?
Really?
At that level of athletics, they're like pretty particular about kind of everything. Yeah. They've got like their things that they do, and that's fine, and I love it. A lot of those guys ended up being really great friends of mine, but I did not want to be wrapping their ankles and they're being like, hey, hold on that. I'm just like, okay, calm down. You're going to stretch it out in a second anyway. Like, relax a little bit. But also, so that was not my ministry. So I switched into art, which is where I found all of my love and things for everything. I was able to combine nature and creativity, and I just had a blast. I was having so much fun. I made really great friends. I made some really cool stuff. That was probably when I first got into like floral design. I made these like domes out of like wire and attached like real flowers and plants to them. And so it was more about like structural stuff rather than like the beauty of, like not thinking about like for a wedding or like for something like that. But that was just kind of where it all started. This idea of like, oh, I love outside and I love making things and crafting things. And so then fast forward, I moved back to Charlottesville.
Did you expect to move back when you went to Kentucky?
So my mom is born and raised Charlottesville. She's a retired teacher. Actually, my mom and Price's mom are in the same sorority. So my mom's a Delta. Miss Estes. I don't think if I said Miss Estes in Charlottesville, a whole lot of people would be like, oh, Miss Estes' daughter. In fact, we've hit a swap now, which I really love because I used to be Miss Estes' daughter, but now she is Miss Deja's mom.
Okay.
So I'm glad to finally, it's so nice.
Up and coming.
You were the object of the sentence now. Yeah.
But yeah, so I knew I wanted to come back to my mom. That's my home. So she wasn't going to move to where I wanted to be at, and so I had to come back home to my mom, which I love, and I would never, I couldn't see me not being here with her. I then met my son's father. He was the winemaker at Wisdom Oak Winery at the time, which was pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
It was a Black-owned winery in Charlottesville, owned by Jerry Baez, and like really associated with UVA. And so going into like a lot of my friends went to UVA and they were like, hey, come out to this winery. And I was like, oh, this guy makes wine. He's got dreadlocks. Is that an accent I hear? It was game over. It was game over after that. And so now we have an 8-year-old son. When we separated, I bought my house out in Buckingham. Knew I wanted to have a little bit of land because before we had horses and pigs. And
when you were growing up, you had horses and pigs?
With his father.
Oh, okay.
No. I grew up in Charlottesville in Willoughby Village, which is like
no horses.
Okay, listen, which is where you think you're in the country for a little while. Like we were out in the grass, we were playing in the creek.
You had a little grass.
Well, we were down at the creek collecting minnows and crawfish.
You were in the part of Willoughby that went to the county.
The county.
So this is crazy, right? So do you know where Harris Road is, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you know Food Line on Harris.
Yes.
So you know Jackson Via is like right there.
Okay.
Right, but half that Willoughby neighborhood splits in half. So some of it goes to the county.
A creek divides it. So
that's crazy.
A creek does it. So the creek runs underneath half of it.
Yep.
And so the back half is the county. And so that's why I went
to
Walton.
Be making up lies.
They just...
not y'all gerrymandered through a river.
But truly, though, right? So you have, literally, you're 500 yards from Jackson Via, and you're going all the way to south of town.
Our neighborhood is split.
Yeah.
The front half goes to the city, and the back half goes to the
the person
county.
across the street from you
Yeah.
is out walking down to Jackson Via.
Buses pass on the street.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We would watch them get picked up first. And be like,
doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And then have a 30-minute bus drive to get all the way out to Walton.
Yep.
It was wild when we could have just, right down the street.
It's nuts.
But yeah, so we grew up like little city country kids. So we were walking around barefooted, playing in. Back then, it was also pretty suburban. So there were only a few black families in Willoughby. I think there were like 3 of us. Shout out to Naya, Jasmine, and Christina, because it was us.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, it was us. And so we were outside playing, always really into nature, always just kind of doing all that. And so that spread and then kept going. And then when I met P, we had animals and farms. I sold eggs. I to the market in Belmont.
You was really a farmer.
Oh,
I wish you could see my notes. I put farmer in quotes.
Is she
you out here farming?
Really farming. But now it's gone more into like just some small livestock keeping. So my son and I, we have 2 bulls, 2 billy goats, 2 pigs, a
just
horse.
A couple of. When you say small farm, you're supposed to have 2 animals max.
Oh,
that's a whole Noah's Ark. I thought that was like
2 bulls, 2 goats, a horse, 2 pigs, 3 geese, 9 ducks, 8 rabbits, 10 chickens.
What make a small farm?
And the Dr. Doolittle.
And 2 bearded dragons.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, gotta have the inside.
I dig it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You said little farm, girl. I thought you were growing microgreens.
Yeah.
I thought you was growing microgreens on your windowsill.
Right.
That's why I was like, okay, farmer.
No, ma'am. But I do have some really nice microgreen sets at the shop if you want to get into it. Come on down to Valley Street. Check out Scottsville. That's a little self-plug right there. But yeah, no, we are really into it. We are doing it. Before that, we had sheep. I'm just like, I don't know. There's something about waking up in the morning and having a purpose that something needs.
It's like homesteading.
Yeah, but like also what's going to make me get up at 7:00 if it's not you got to eat?
Yes.
Because if not, I'm in the bed. I'm like, oh, it's so toasty in here. But so we just have always kind of kept it nature, and now I'm spreading that down to him. And
does he wake? Does he do the farm work too?
Oh, he absolutely wakes up in the morning. These are his farm chores now that he can lift the lids off of the bins. Yeah. Oh, the day that we did the strength test and he could lift it, we've been doing the strength test since about like 4. It's like that's when he would be allowed to come and help.
Okay.
Because like I can't come and take the lids off things for you. That's
waste of time. Might as well just do it.
Yeah. So he would be like, let's see if I'm strong enough. He didn't know what he was doing to himself.
No, sure.
Yeah, right. So he thinks this is fun.
Yeah,
so
perfect.
finally the day. He's like 7, little past his birthday. So I'd say like maybe March, April. And he goes and lifts it. And he's like,
it's like Thor's hammer.
And I was like, wonderful. So now you can help with the chores. So you can do this half. I'll do this half. And in the mornings, we split it up. Now it's all him. He does it all because he is 8 and thinks that that's what he should do. And I love that in him.
Way to go.
He's super responsible.
I love that.
I joke all the time and say that I do not deserve this kid. Like, I do not know how he came to me, but I'm just so grateful because I feel like he's like the adult sometimes. Like, I'll be like, Granger, we don't have to go anywhere all day. Like, I could call you out. I could call out. We could just eat ice cream and hang out. Like, literally, we could do that. And he's like, I don't think that's a good idea, Mom. I think that we have to follow some kind of rules. And I'm like, okay, that's fair. All right.
8-year-olds better than adults.
Look, true millennial parent where I'm like, listen, this thing that I want to do my whole life.
Yes.
We could actually do now. You could enjoy with me. And instead he's like, nah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
If you're just tapping in, this is Envision Radio from the United Way of Greater Charlottesville, City of Promise, and News Radio 98.9, 1070 AM WNA. Price, Marky here in the studio with Daisa here talking about, what are we talking about? We're talking about farming, we're talking about children, we're talking about the responsibility of, my 5-year-old's definitely more responsible than I am, by the way. So
we found out that bios don't really tell the full story.
Well, they do. Well, they don't when you put quotes around things.
She was like, small garden.
By the way, big thanks to our sponsor from the Jefferson School Foundation, jeffersonschoolfoundation.org.
I do also garden, so I do have a really nice perennial garden. There's guilt inside of me because I do floristry, and I know that takes a lot of flowers out of nature that the pollinators would have, whatever. And so I have a huge pollinator garden in my backyard that's all full of like Virginia natives.
I love that.
And it's all about like the eco. So everything is like non-treated, not like,
cool.
you know, which just means basically a bunch of weeds are growing. But in my heart, this is actually helping Virginia, and I'm spreading this idea.
You need a beehive.
Oh, no.
Is that where you draw the line? Draw the line at bees?
Actually, Scottsville's the bee capital.
Yeah, like I heard there's bees up there.
We have a bee
That's
store.
I'm like,
Yeah.
it's like a natural like progression, like to get you a couple bees.
Yep, and they do classes, and I love that for people. That's a lot of responsibility. Bees are highly
Oh, is it like one of those pets you gotta like?
Oh, really?
You have
I
to
didn't
make
know
them,
that.
like constant sugar, because when there's no flower, what are they going to? So you have to make like sugar water.
Yeah.
They can't get too cold.
Oh, I didn't know. I really thought you just put the queen out there and then take care of themselves.
People's hives, like they die all the time. Like most people don't, you know, that first year they lose a lot of bee. It's like
interesting.
I would have started the hive collapse of 03 that they had going on.
Yeah.
You know?
But also in Scottsville, you don't really need your own hives because we have this little piece of property that's donated to a nonprofit called SCAN. It's the Scottsville Center for Arts and Nature.
Okay.
And they have beehives out on the property that are maintained by the Seiler Company. So we have access to, like, you know, if you really wanted to be part of that community and be part of beehiving, you could always join on and say like, hey, I want to help, you know, take care of the beehives and do stuff like that. But that's not really my thing. I think I'm going to leave the bees to
the beekeepers.
To the beekeepers.
How did you get into, I mean, this, so just take me through because again, to your point, this is like a heavy duty outdoor, right? You know, it's not like, oh, I want to do this athletic training thing. Found out it wasn't really for me, so like I got a dog. You went like fully into, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so I have to assume that as a kid, nature was obviously important to you, but again, a different step, right? As a kid who was also an avowed playing in the creek, doing the tadpole kind of thing, it never, not one day in my life, occurred to me to have Noah's Ark in my backyard, right? So how did you get there? Because that's a I mean, it's a big commitment too, though. To do that right is a big commitment.
Yeah. So I was down there playing, but I was also paying attention to the plants and what was growing well. And so then I would come back home and I would say like, hey, Mom. So I was down at the creek and I noticed that there were these ferns growing at the base of the trees. And I noticed that we have this area that's really shady and stuff isn't growing there. Can I bring some ferns up and put them? But I also like to attribute, my grandma was so into plants. Like she was just like, back when I was growing up, we had vases filled with things propagating everywhere.
That's how my grandma is too.
Yeah, you know, and so it was kind of always instilled, like this thing, like you grow things, like you take care of things. I was on the watering schedule. It's really funny, when I left home, my mom's, all of her plants died inside. She didn't realize that like she wasn't actually the person keeping them alive.
Oh, yes.
And actually, if she listens to this, this is how she's learning about this. So sorry, Mom. And
girl, it wasn't you.
It was like they pulled it out of me. I didn't want to tell.
Sorry to bring it to you.
And so I left, and all of her plants died out. And then I was like, "What? Like, what happened, Mom?" And then I'd come home during the breaks. I'd doctor them up, you know.
Yeah,
and then she'd be like, probably about like January. "Oh, Daisha, my plants are looking great." I'm like, "Oh, that's good." And then, you know, June would come and they'd be dying off again. And so finally, I just realized that like maybe I'm just really good with plants. You know, I was one of those kids who would like throw watermelon seeds outside, and then
in the watermelon,
Jack and the Beanstalk kind of deal.
Wow. It's really strange. I've just always been really connected with growing and plants and moving stuff. So, you know, I'd bring ferns up from the creek and put them over in my mom's yard. I would like landscape her yard for her. It's so beautiful now. I mean, obviously she's had to like redo things. Yeah. But like fun for me was going to Lowe's and getting like landscape blocks and doing gardens for my mom in the backyard. And she's like at the time complaining. And I'm thinking in my head like, now that I'm like, I wish Granger would wake up and be like, "Hey, Mom,
I built a retaining wall
so that I can build you a garden over here."
I know that's right.
But yeah, so I've just always kind of been into this idea of like nature and how we can help it and how it can help us. Oh my goodness.
Is that an emergency?
Something's happening. Where's that? Is that coming from the phones?
The phones.
Oh no.
I hope everybody.
Not my phone.
I hope everybody.
Not mine either. Where am I hearing that?
I think the radio is saying there's an emergency.
Stop touching the buttons.
Shout out to everybody.
All right.
Is that a real emergency?
They're trying to take us
one
off.
Those things? Are you guys doing a thing?
Hey, we're doing a bit. Yeah, that's exactly right. What you didn't
Joke's
know
on you. I'm on process.
Yeah. This has become
I don't know what that was.
This has become like the Stanford prison experiment. This is not even a radio show. This is just
see how people react to high stress situations.
Exactly right.
Did you know there is no outside to this place?
The walls just fall down.
But yeah, so I don't know. I guess I was just. Some people say like you just are drawn to things, and I was drawn to them. I would go to like garden clubs with my grandma, and like there was this lady named Miss Barbara, and she taught me how to graft from a tree, and I thought that was so cool. I would come back and tell my friends. It is really cool. It is so cool.
You just cut up a piece of tree and put another tree on it, put some wrap around it, and they come together.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's like that shouldn't make sense.
It does, because it just shows you how resilient plants are, and that's one of the things that I love so much about them. It's almost like you get to like test and see like, okay, how can nature take back this like thing that I'm doing to it? I teach bonsai, and that's one of the things that I talk about in my workshops is like how you can manipulate a plant to make it do what you want it to do and it still thrive. Like this idea of like resilience in plants. So I don't know. I mean, like,
I killed a bonsai once.
It's easy to kill a bonsai. Did you let it live outside?
No, it was inside with me.
Well, that's why.
I got it from Lowe's. It was like on sale because I guess it was already like we can't take care of this thing, and I was like, oh, this would be so fun to try to manipulate it. Yeah. And then I had it for like a year, but then I started I tried to start like trying to do the limbs into like a shape or whatever. Okay. And then I feel like I was like trying to cut. And next thing I know, it was dead. I was like,
okay.
I was like, they don't tell you to be a plant mother, you got to kill a lot of plants.
You do. I killed
so many, like 3 years ago. Yeah. I was like killing. I was trying to propagate. I was trying to like, I put them in little jars, and then I was like, I found out you can keep them hydroponic the whole time. Yeah. And then I was like, no, but I didn't know you had to give it like, water doesn't have all the nutrients it needs, and it needs oxygen. So like, I was killing a lot of them when I was cutting people's plants. I would go to places and cut people's little plants and put them in my pocket, and then I was,
prop lifter.
I was just like,
don't
is
you
that a
come
thing?
down.
Is that like a thing? Oh, really?
Prop
no, it was like from my grandma's house. From my grandma's house.
No, I'm joking. No, but that is a thing. Like, you know,
it's illegal.
I do it. I don't go to Lowe's. And
not to Lowe's.
I would never do anything like that.
My family house.
No, exactly. Nobody takes pieces of plants from places. No. Who would do that?
But now I have like 2 monsteras that are very large that I bought, like 2 or 3 years old that I grow, and they're like this very tall from the ground. Like
philodendrons are a friend. Yes,
I have a couple of pothos that are like super long and great.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing way better, but I did kill a lot of plants.
It happens. There's a process. It's definitely not, your first try isn't always your best try.
Right.
Yeah.
So you were doing farming, and then talk to us a little bit about the shop.
Yeah.
What made you say, you know what, I want to take this trip on the road, this farm on the road?
Right. So I think the one thing I haven't talked about was teaching. So I would drive. I used to teach at what's now, I guess, Charlottesville Middle School. I used to work at Buford under Jesse Turner. Yeah. And so I would drive over the Scottsville Bridge every morning through this beautiful town of Scottsville, because I technically live in Buckingham, Scottsville. It's like if you're on the other side of the bridge, you're Buckingham. Right. So you save money in taxes. Right. If you're on that side of the bridge, you pay more in taxes. And I was like, I'm going to use my big brain here.
I know that's right.
Side of that bridge. And so I would just see this beautiful town, but it was just kind of empty at the time. It was like right before COVID, everything's kind of started dying off, and then COVID happened and everything was shut down. But it was 2021, and I'm looking and I'm like, guys, things are open back up. I'm like, why are we not? And I just saw this beautiful, it was just the best window for plants. That's all I would think every single time I pass it. It's like, that is such a good window for plants. Like, my house has terrible lighting because of the very tall trees that my neighbors love to have. Shout out to my neighbors who won't cut their trees. And
they're gonna hear this. This is how popular.
I hope you hear me. And so I was driving, and then one day I called a friend, and I was like, I want to open up a plant shop. And they were like, okay, go off, sis. Like, what you gonna do? And at the time, my cousin was still living down here. She moved back up to Chicago, and so she left the business. But when I first started, she was the business part. So I'm obviously like the creative. Like, I have no structure to my life. How is she? Like, I think like one of the things that people will ask me is like, how do you balance? I'm like, I'm not balancing.
I'm not balancing.
I just have a billion hands everywhere and grace to say like, that's as good as that's going to get right now. Like, that's as, okay, that's the level that's going to be at. And I'm going to move on to it's about constantly like pivoting and moving between it all. And so she was the business mind. She was like, all right, this is flower math. This is plant math. This is how you make whatever each month. Do you think you'd be able to do this? Where do you think we should set it up? And I was like, duh, Scottsville. Like, where else would I want to be but Scottsville? I know the perfect place. Like, this is what I'm telling you, like this building. And she's like, no, Deja, like Scottsville's dead. Nothing's and I'm like, no, it's got to be Scottsville. Like, I drive there every day, you know, and I just knew. And so I'm telling another friend, he introduces me to a guy who unfortunately has passed away. His name was Clark Bechtel. And so he was also my business partner.
Yeah.
And so he was like, let's do it. He had a jungle of plants in his house. I had a jungle of plants at my house. And when we combined our jungles, we had a plant shop that we thought that with 198 plants, just under 200, we thought we were going to have a plant shop. Well, that sounds crazy, right? You're like, oh, yeah, that sounds like a lot of plants. No.
I was about to say, I couldn't tell. That was a lot of 2 minutes.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
No, I was like, I think that could be really good.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Do not
that's
try
great.
to start a plant shop with only 200 plants.
Only 200?
You need 200?
You need way more than 200 plants.
Why?
200 plants is a lot of plants.
Right.
And think about this. These are mature plants. So here's what you guys, you know.
We're not seeing the business.
Okay, so think about Lowe's and what they've got going on, right?
Right.
All of those plants that look so big and they're just like, they're tricked into getting big fast.
Okay.
Basically like how they root bound them. So they bound their roots in these things that are called death nets. And anyway, that's why you shouldn't buy from big boxes. But anyways, I'll leave that plug to another podcast at another day. Maybe you'll bring me back.
Bring you back.
I'll get on
Sure.
that soapbox.
Part two.
Listen, that's what we're here for.
But so, so we're selling our big mature plants, these 200 plants that we've cultivated since little babies, and we sell out in like the first month. And we were like, what are we gonna do?
Oh, right. Because
You was a flower shop with no
theoretically
flowers.
should have been growing other. Right,
well,
sure,
we always are propping, but they take
Years.
a long time.
That's right.
We sold 8-year-old plants
That's right.
at the price of, I don't know, it's embarrassing to say the least.
It's business.
And so here we are now. We luckily got in in a good connection with this plant shop, or I guess he's not a plant shop. He's a greenhouse. His name is Gene at Modesto Greenhouse.
Gene at Green.
Gene at Modesto Greenhouse, and he is amazing. He does all organic plants and things, and he will grow me what I want him to grow me. He's like, what do you want? And I'm like, I need this. And he's got all these beautiful greenhouses. And so luckily I have a great connection with him now. But when we were doing this plant shop, I was like, oh crap, we can't just sell plants. So we started doing floristry, and we started doing local gifts. We started doing workshops. We started
expanding the resources of the business.
And also what Scottsville needed, because this didn't exist down there after COVID. I've heard of like other things. There was a maker space and stuff like that down there. I never really got to experience that Scottsville, so I don't know, when there was like a bustling town, because whenever I lived there, I just remember the Barefoot Market and thinking like, how is this amazingly fresh frozen food so cheap? And when other people find out about this, it's gonna be crazy in Scottsville. Yeah. And then it closed down, and I was like, what? Like this beautiful thing that was in this town that literally, we have Farmstead ferments, and a lot of people like buy that stuff from like Foods of All Nations and all around. Yeah. And I'm like, it's cheaper in Scottsville.
Yeah, sure.
Like, go to Scottsville and get, So I think I knew I wanted to do something for the community. I knew that there needed to be something there. I wanted to be part of it. I wanted to make sure that also that Black people felt like they could go to Scottsville. I'm going to say it. Growing up, I was taught that Scottsville was a sundown town. I was taught that you didn't go past the rooster at the chicken place that, what is it? Lumpkins. Oh, okay. You don't go past that rooster. That's what my grandma taught me. So I didn't really go down into Scottsville. Even when all my friends lived around Scottsville, I was like, I can go to Keene, and that's as far as your girl's going. I'm not going down on that river road. Absolutely not, And so I wanted to make this feel like a safe place. Like, I wanted to feel like, all right, I'm in this community. I'm going to live here. I got to be part of it. And so that's what we did. And then Clark left the business because he got busy with work and a wife and, trying to build their homestead. And then, like I said, unfortunately passed. And then Jeray and her family moved back up to Chicago. And so now We Grow is just like me doing whatever I want all the time, which is kind of cool. Like, nobody can tell me no. I'm like, oh, yeah, I can host a Blaze and Bouquet event. And nobody can say like, I I don't know about that for your image. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm doing it. You know, like I'm going to advocate for the things that I love. And so, you know, that's being part of the cannabis community in Charlottesville and supporting our local growers. You know, I think that that's going to be a really great way for our state to get out of the crazy debt that our state is in. And so hopefully we can start to see that market spread more in a more positive light versus this like weird kind of speakeasy version that we're in.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of weird. Like, can you talk about it? Can you not talk about it? But I think that as like a state that is built on growing things, like, you know, let's not talk about it, but
Virginia is for growers.
Okay, it is. Virginia is for growers. It's a place where, you know, anybody who wants to can take the time and go outside and grow. We've got great soil here. So like, you know, and that's another thing that I got really into at the plant shop is recognizing like all of the natural resources that we have being in Virginia and how easy it is to grow things. It's so easy to grow here. You know, we've got pretty moderate temperatures, even into fall. I mean, you know, we're all like, oh, we're bundled up in sweaters. And
so as
like,
moderate as you get.
Yeah, you know, like where's it going to get better?
Yeah.
And so I just think, you know, there's no better place than Scottsville. It's right by the river. We've got that nice soil and the community's so sweet. It is the most welcoming place. The first year open, I didn't realize the magnitude of this, but it's so cool. I got to connect with another Black business, Renee's Boutique.
Yes.
Right? Shout out to Crystal Napier.
Yeah.
And we did a fashion show, closing down 20 to use the crosswalk from my shop to Victory Hall, which is the like town hall and theater of Scottsville.
I love this. This artistic collaboration.
Yes, but also our police chief put in a VDOT request without me, like, no work did I do. In my head, I'm like, oh, cool. He said we can do it. Yeah.
But he did the background
permitting, had police there ready to stop traffic when ladies were ready to walk across the street. Everything was on our timing. And in my head, I'm going, he is doing all this for 2 Black women and nobody is making a fuss. Everybody's standing on the sidewalks cheering. You see big old revved up trucks and you're thinking that they're going to be, you know, being ugly and they're clapping out the windows. Like, I think what I love so much about Scottsville is that it had this past that you can think of. But when we look in the now, even in this strange political climate that we're in, there's still so much good. There's still so much community. We have wonderful parents at our elementary schools who are getting resources together to fund pantries for people to have food. We have businesses that are starting to do like potluck nights and things like that. So, you know, it's like, why Scottsville? That's why Scottsville, because it is the sweetest place. But also, please do not move to Scottsville. Stay away from Scottsville.
This is what happens, right?
Yeah, no,
there you
don't
go.
come to
There you
Scottsville.
go. It's going to happen.
Don't come.
Spend your money here and leave.
Right? Please and thank you. No, there is a big fuss, though. We do have a new development coming in. Yeah, and it's the biggest expansion of Scottsville ever. And I mean, like, is traffic good on 20? No, because at any point a tractor can be going down the road at 5 miles an hour. Everyone's like, what about the traffic? I'm like, what about the tractors? Can we pick tractor hours? Like, listen, you can only travel on the road between this time and this time. Okay, because at 8 o'clock when I am running late to work to teach these children of America, I need you to not be driving your tractor at 5 miles an hour or doing tree work. Why are we doing tree work in the morning?
So much tree work. Yeah.
So much construction.
In the morning?
All the time.
You can't cut the trees in the afternoon?
Yeah. No. You know that. You're the tree person. It only works between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10 a.m.
Okay, well, now to your credit, it would make sense to want to do it when it is colder. Okay, fair enough.
But if you are just jumping in, this is Envision Radio from the United Way of Greater Charlottesville and City of Promise, News Radio 98.9, 1070 AM WINA. Price, Marky, back here in the studio. Marky, the one to watch. Marky, they also used your full government in there. Markiana Smith, the one to watch, here with Daisa Pascall.
I didn't even know where they got my full government from.
The one. You are the new Neo. The one. You have to. People can't see you. Oh, that's a whole different thing. You're doing a whole different thing now.
He's the one that little hat on the side.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved his little fedora.
Yes.
Fedora.
That was me with his fedora.
That was so cute.
We got it. No one saw that, but we got it. Talk a little bit about teaching. So, you have obviously this nature focus, the floristry and the farm and the whole thing. How did you get into teaching? And then how has that evolved? I mean, the teaching's changed a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh,
you do the butterfly thing with the kids?
The butterfly thing?
Yeah, we get little
Those little
cocoons.
that grow in the... Oh, that's fun. I do like that.
No,
yeah.
so I teach art.
That's art.
I would love for them.
Life is art.
Honestly, everything is art. Actually, everything is art.
Everything is art.
No, this is middle school, so they're past that. That's not cool.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
What is it? I would get my T clocked or whatever if I did something
6'7"
cheesy like that. Oh my God, no!
I don't know what that means.
They don't
I tried to
know
ask
what
the
it
kid the other day.
means.
They couldn't tell
They
me.
literally
if it's
have no
not
clue
a
what it
thing. Like,
means.
I don't... Yeah.
It's really getting to me.
Yeah.
To my psyche.
You know what's crazy is working in a middle school and knowing what everything means and being like, I don't even want to spread that nonsense.
Yeah.
I don't even want you to actually know what it means. I want you to stay in the dark because it's just as bad to know what it means as to not know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Totally.
Like
yeah.
41, so banana.
So I don't know. I've never heard any of that.
Exactly.
I've heard the 6'7". I don't know another number.
That is 6'7", but more.
I don't even know what. And I asked. I was like, "What does that mean?" I was a kid.
It's
They're like,
fun.
it just means like 6'7". And I was like, I know, but when when do you use it?
All the time.
Like, to say to my friend, I know, but what like.
What is the context?
What is the
appropriate
is it like,
use of
is it like,
this?
are you using it when you're excited? Are you using it to mean, okay, girl? Are you using
all
it to
the
mean...
time? It is interchangeable.
What is the word that it's supposed to be filling in for?
Right, so you're like, if you want to replace this, what would you replace it
Yeah,
with?
it's like, are you, like... I was trying, and they were like,
It would be more
not
like
replacing
a gesture. So like they have basically transformed gestures into other like things. Like 6'7" is a gesture. Like, hey, did you do your homework? 6'7".
So that means 6'7" means yes.
Yeah, or no. Yeah, it can honestly mean whatever they want it to mean.
This kid was like breaking me. Like,
oh yeah.
Look, this is why, and I will say this full-throatedly on this podcast, this is why people who are my age, people who are in their mid to late 30s, this is why we're the greatest generation on earth. Because we avoided all this, but we still know how to rotate a PDF. Like, that is where we live, right? That is why forever, that millennial slice will be forever the greatest generation on earth. You had to grow up without the internet, but still learn how to use it.
Amen.
Otherwise, we got people now on the internet. People like, did you see this picture of Bigfoot at Whole Foods? I'm like, that's fake. And they're like, how do you know?
My favorite is the church lady reading off have you seen those? Are my new favorite.
Oh Lord,
it's the church lady reading people at. Ma'am, you know that it's not real.
It's not real.
There's old people cannot tell and young people cannot tell.
Yes, but also in what church is somebody not snatching her down? Like, that's a sign you haven't been in the church, and that's a problem.
Every day on Facebook, I see a new movie coming out. Old people love to retweet. They keep doing they did a classic and then they pretended to make a fake flyer and then they got fake actors on it and they're like, did y'all see they coming out with a Soul Food 7?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it's like Waiting to Exhale 5.
I'm like, Nia Long is not doing that.
She doesn't look like that anymore.
What are y'all talking about? It drives me crazy.
I know. It's like, did you not see that Whitney was on the flyer? What do you think was happening?
Are the kids doing AI art? Are they turning an AI art?
We did do.
Oh, this is back to your thing. We did a unit. Okay.
We did a unit. We brought in the LTI, which is a fancy name for the lady who does all the technology at our school.
Okay.
Schools love acronyms.
AI.
We loved it. No. She's our LTI. So, not that she's not very knowledgeable.
Sure.
Let me tell you, if your power school is not working, sis can get it going in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. She's like, got that. I'm like, thank you. So she came in. We did an AI thing, and we talked about how the first piece of visual art has gotten its copyright with AI, right? Based off of the prompts that were put in, how much of it was his own original content. And so there's actually an artist who just got a piece of AI art copywritten, which is pretty cool.
That's
so
the AI wrote it, but they are the owner of the copyright.
So the artist created art. He input the art for the AI to generate, and then through prompting had it manipulate the piece of art to create something.
That makes sense.
So it's almost like they created it together.
Like built a thing off of a thing. Like he built a thing.
He built a thing, and then he wanted a remix of the thing.
So he put his paper in.
Yeah.
It gave him a new paper.
Yeah.
And then he said, okay, but change the paper like this.
Yeah.
Right? But for art.
Yeah, sure.
That's how I see it. Yeah. So are we going to say that that's not his paper if he wrote the original paper?
I don't know. What do we think?
It's his paper. He wrote a paper.
I think the way you're explaining it sounds like his paper.
Is it? I don't know that I have an opinion, but I will play the other side of this. Okay, he wrote a thing.
It might not have been a very good thing.
He made a thing.
Sure.
That is the art.
Sure.
Okay, hear me out.
Keep going.
He gave it to the AI.
Yes.
The AI wrote it.
Yes.
Understood. Just copied.
Using his original work.
His original concept, sure.
And then regenerated something
else new
based off of his prompting.
Sure.
Like sampling.
That's what I was about to say. Is that okay? Or what if I cook a soup and I pass it to you? Okay. Mine's not very good, but I pass it to you, and you change the ingredients and make it better. Is it my soup still, or is it yours?
I think it's mine.
It's your soup.
It's mine?
You started it. There's a base.
But the final product is functionally different.
How do you tell the second person that? Because I thought it was my soup.
Did you start the soup?
But I incorporated parts of me into the soup.
How much do you have to change?
Yeah, how much do you have to change for it to be mine?
Yeah.
I feel like when we're starting about a base, you got to take my base out for it to be yours. So in order for this to now become your thing, my thing has to be gone, right? Like that's my idea.
If I add anything, his thing is gone.
Well, no.
What?
Is it?
His thing is gone.
Listen,
I think his thing is the original.
This is the really interesting conversation that we've had, because when we think about like even music, right? So if you sample something, theoretically, there's a cost associated with that, right? So if I sample a Ray Charles song, and if I make Gold Digger as Kanye West, but it's based on a Ray Charles sample, I have to compensate him for the use of that sample. So he wouldn't just release that as like, that's my thing, without reverence to the thing that it came from. So I wonder how that works in this era where like, if I take that guy's paper and, manipulate it to make another thing, I think it at least stands to reason logically that I would have to attribute, I used Asia's base to make my Price's thing.
But but you're saying mine, because that is your thing. That new thing is yours.
I don't know. I think that's how he interpreted it in music, certainly. Right? That's what the sample is, right?
Thing is yours?
Right, but I think that from a copyright standpoint, that's a very tricky business, right? Because what if I only changed it a wee bit?
I don't know either. I'm just trying to think through it logically.
I think that's hard, though, but I think that's what's going to be really hard for people as this moves forward. Is
I think if it can stand with moving the base out of it.
Okay.
So if now you went back in and said, all right, take out my original thought, but keep this paper that you've written, how authentic or similar that would be to, but can AI do that? I don't know. I've never seen anybody say, take away my prompting and, I feel like it would just probably maybe break the system. Maybe we would break the system. But yeah, so we did a unit on AI.
That's cool.
And I love AI art. I know a lot of artists are having a hard time with it. They don't agree with it. And I get it. The videos are scary. Not knowing if things are true are scary. But guess what? We already lived in that generation of not knowing if things are real or not. There are false news outlets everywhere putting stuff all over Facebook, just maybe not pictures to it, or I don't know. I just feel like knowing it and learning it and understanding it is better than fearing it.
Yeah, I've seen some people talk about that, like, I forgot where it was, but they were like, yeah, we taught them an AI unit because it's better to, like, it's like when those parents used to be like, well, they can have a little bit of drink in my house. Like, I'd rather them be here safe.
Right.
My mama didn't do that, but I heard other people's mama did it.
I've heard this.
Not my type of mama, but other people's mama.
I may have gone to some houses with some of those moms.
Yeah, I've heard this.
I've been at a friend house and they're like, oh, absolutely, you can drink here because I just want you to be safe. I'm a cool mom. And I was like, that's
Sound
weird.
like that lady from Mean Girls. I'm a cool mom.
Yeah, I'm a cool mom. So it's like, is it not better to be trying to teach so that they don't try to do it? Because everything you do in secret is like you're doing it the wrong way. You're doing it in a bad way.
I mean, it's so ubiquitous that it is certainly, digital literacy is certainly, you can't avoid it, right?
It's so like prohibition. They didn't stop people drinking.
Yeah, certainly. Well, and that's what they say. I mean, necessity, is the mother of invention to a degree. And so I think you're both correct, but I think what it will breed is then a new sort of there will be a new technologically advanced safeguard to it, right?
Yeah.
So like the business opportunity in that, it's like, okay, whoever figures out how to identify things that aren't real quickly and efficiently,
love that,
will then capture a massive part of the market, right? Because, they're doing all this stuff now where you have to watermark it and da-da-da, but like whoever can very quickly create the thing that can identify something that's not real, there's a massive opportunity there, because again, it's like we are so taught to trust our eyes, right? That when that fails, it is a little frightening that you're like, ooh, yikes.
Especially them black women mukbangs. I'm like, please, like, you don't have to do this to my people.
Stop it.
Like,
I want me to wake up irritated. Is that popping up? And I'm like, you know what?
You cannot tell us.
Like, I would never catch a black mama out there like that. Go, please.
I watch these videos where a person's like, they show the video and they stitch it, and the person's like, did you see? That was fake. And I'm like, okay. And they were like, if you look here,
the
leg went through the other leg. I'm like, great. Like, this is good. I need training.
I need to be safeguards on AI. That was part of the lesson that we went through, is that they had actually created an AI that was too perfect. It was too good at creating things that like the originals. Yeah. And so when they first started working in AI, that was one of the aspects that they said, is that there always needs to be something that marks an imperfection in it. Sure. So that you know, hey, this was made with AI. Yeah. Or like, so lots of times you'll see weird spelling. Yeah,
sure.
Or the hands go through other hands.
The hands go through. That's all actually intentional, of course. Like, we all know that if you have something that can create something, you're obviously going to be able to make it perfect. But that was part of the lesson that we talked about.
I love that.
And so half of the class was touring. There was half the class that really loved it, and they were having fun with it. We were recreating pictures of famous artists by using prompts and seeing what it would push out. And of course, every single time, unless you put like their race included, because we said, like, don't include race in the beginning. Like, let's just see like what AI naturally creates. And it always was this kind of like either very pale toned or very like middle toned versions of things. There was never a dark skinned version that came out in any of these lights. Even when we put like woolly hair or like, textured, nothing. And so, we talked about that, how AI has this idea of perfectionism in it, where if you say like, if I put a picture in of, I don't know, Queen Latifah, it's going to make her thinner.
Dana Owens, I'm her top fan.
Right? And I love Queen Latifah. She's amazing. She's literally, I was like, who am I going to think of to be the best person that you would want AI to create? And it's Queen Latifah. I want her everywhere. But yeah, so I think that, there are things that kind of we've put into action, and I support it in the classroom when you acknowledge it, when you say that I'm using this thing and you don't try to claim it as your own authentic whatever. But they're in middle school, so they're creating silly things like baby cows mixed with penguins, and then you're getting like the most horrible but cute creature ever, and you're like, where did you get this? I'm like, well, I like this and this, so I put it together, But in my class, we talk about real heavy stuff too. So we are on a culture unit. We're talking about like the Virginia Roots curriculum and combining pottery and weaving and quilting and then culture, tapping into learning your heritage or your assumed heritage, like your mom said you might be from such and such, and respecting that kind of imaginative idea of who you could be also. So yeah, I love teaching. My mom is a teacher. I was kind of I'm raised by a teacher, so there wasn't really another path. I don't know how you didn't become a teacher. I'm very confused how you didn't go straight into teaching from the womb.
Both my sisters taught too.
Okay, yeah,
that's where it went.
You escaped.
He's a rebel.
It didn't make it to me.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I love teaching. I grew up watching my mom and the kids loving her, Miss Estes, going in the classroom and be like, you're Miss Estes' daughter, and walking around with all these high schoolers, and I'm the cool little 8-year-old, like, yeah, cool, my mom's cool. And I went to art school, and then I came out and I was doing photography, and then I was like, well, what can I do with art that is not actually having to work in a field out? Like, weddings are beautiful. Being the photographer for them is not my that's not my ministry. I'm not there for that. I love it and it's beautiful, but I'm hungry. Is everybody else drinking? Because I want to have
I know that's right. Like, you want a job, you want to go.
Do I want to take a picture of your very drunk uncles right now together? No.
I've been at a wedding where the photographer had a drink. I was like, but then I thought it was weird. I was like,
it is.
Can you keep the camera straight?
That is way off. They must have been family. They were family. No, you're very strict in that environment. And lots of times in the art field, even though it is so free, there are so many rules and things that you kind of have to follow to get into the right pockets, right? Like to get into the right places. And so I instantly knew that wasn't for me. And so what was I going to do with art that was still art? Of course, I'm going to teach it. And so I got into teaching and I love it. I love getting to be that person who I wish I would have seen. I didn't have a black art teacher until I got to UK. Mm-hmm. I had only ever seen white women and white men teaching art. All of the examples of artists that I saw were white. All of the art that we were looking at was white. When we went to the Bailey Museum, everybody was white. There was no people of color in the art that I was looking outside of like African art, right? Like in our house, we have art. Sure. We have, you know, the blue lady slumped over. But I'm not thinking this is like art because in my head, when I go to school, they're not talking about the stuff that I see in my house. They're talking about things that it's in the Louvre. What? Yeah. You know, and so I wanted to make sure that I was showing kids that that's not just what art is, that that's art, but also this is art. And art can look like you. Art can look like anybody. It can be anybody, and anybody can be part of it. So that's why I love teaching. If
you're just jumping in, this is Envision Radio from the United Way of Greater Charlottesville and City of Promise, News Radio 98.9, 1070 AM WINA. Price, Markey here with Daisa Pascall. Big thanks to our sponsors, our friend, the Jefferson School Foundation. That is jeffersonschoolfoundation.org. So obviously a big Scottsville connection. What's happening here in Charlottesville, right? Involved with a lot of stuff here in town. And, you know, obviously you're a mom. How do you... It's very clear to me that, like, action, right? Like, moving all the time. This is a question that we'd like to ask folks who are very busy. Is like, what do you say no to?
Ooh. I say no to... this sounds so bad. I say no to a lot of markets. A lot of...
interesting.
Come set up here.
Okay.
Come be here.
I love a market, girl.
You know, and I love a market for someone who doesn't have rent. Okay. But that
makes sense. No. Actually, honestly though, once you said it, I was like, I'm not a good business person.
Okay, because I love the market.
You actually taught me something,
right? Like,
actually, I'm not going nowhere else, man. Like,
you come here, you come to me.
That makes sense.
I'm not a good business person.
No. Well, I'm just saying, and don't get me wrong. Will I go to a market? Absolutely. Sure. If it's a friend who has
or something specialized,
you know, and they're like, hey, come set up here for this thing. Sure, I love that. But it is a lot of work to pack up your things, risk breaking them. I mean, I have really nice pots. These are ceramic. I search long and hard. These are very unique. Some of them are original things. These are things that are handed down. And so to put them in the back of my truck and drive from Scottsville to here and risk breaking things and losing things, and you go to the markets and sometimes people are shopping and sometimes they're not shopping. Right. I mean, in this economy, it's kind of like up in the air, you know. It's like, do people have, because plants are seen as a luxury. I get it. I understand that. While I don't view them that way, like I view this as something like, if you went and got soda to make your day better, mine is a snake plant, you know, like it's the equivalent of that for me. But I do get that it's not seen that way. And so lots of times you'll go to those markets and it's just like, oh my gosh, I could have just stayed in the shop. I say no to a lot of the play date invites, a lot of the, hey, let's get our kids together. And respectfully, your child is not raised like mine. And I saw your kid throw a hissy fit and Granger.
They can't even come to my farm to see my animals.
Granger, Pat, and Pascal would never. Okay. He's not about to. No, he looks at me and he's like, did you see? I'm like, yeah, I saw that. And know that doesn't happen around here. It was great having this one play date with you. It won't happen again.
Lovely to see you.
You know, so goodbye. I say no to a lot of that. Everything else, unfortunately, you know, I miss a lot of like events, friends' birthdays, and but I make time for the ones that I know would make the time for me. I think that balance is important, is recognizing like, yes, you have a village, but sometimes you have village supporters, and then you just have the village on the outside, like, yeah, go girl, come to my thing. And it's like, you've never been in We Grow ever. What do you know? Now I have to come to your you never came to my thing. This is a 4-year-old thing now. And, you know, and that sounds so, and maybe that sounds petty, maybe that's not the way to think about it. Maybe I'll go to church and, you know, rethink my statement. But I feel like I support those who support me. And so I say no to a lot of things that don't feel like they support me. If it doesn't feel like it's for my benefit, if it feels like this isn't an equally cooperative thing, then I'm not going. No, we're going to pass on that. So
what's next for We Grow?
Oh my goodness.
It's getting big as it came to me.
Thank you. I mean, We Grow, we're doing more weddings. I think that's really awesome.
Like you're doing the floral arrangement?
Doing the bouquets, the boutonnieres, the centerpieces.
Interesting.
I have always been kind of really selective about that since the very beginning because I know how quickly that can blow your business up. And now, while I love We Grow, I couldn't see myself not teaching. It gives me this fulfillment, you know? I feel like I'm providing a service that even on my worst days, like the kids would be like, Miss Deja, are you having a hard day? I'm like, I am, but I remember when I prayed for days to be in a classroom and get to feel like I'm making a difference. And so I am taking on more weddings than I had taken on. I had limited myself to like 5, 6. I'm opened up more. And so we're gonna,
That's how business is, get the booming.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, hopefully I can maintain that and more. We're doing more events. Like I said, we have our bouquet and blaze coming up. So we're gonna have a little build your own bouquet, enjoy some, enlightenment. I'm gonna do an infused tapas. So we're doing pesto 4 ways, but with decarbonized flour. So it's this idea of you being able to make your own edibles at home without having to buy the expensive Levo machine to extract the oils and things like that. So it's also just about like education. I have a few other people who are involved in the cannabis industry who are going to come and talk about testing your THC and, knowing what you're using instead of just like going for it, but also just to like bring people together, have a good time. It's going to be a social. We Grow is a vibe. I say this so like proudly, but like that space has cultivated such an energy that is like way beyond me. I don't know how it's gotten to it, but it's so cool. Like you walk in and just everybody, no matter who you are, I mean, burly Harley men who are riding down 20 and just pulling over so that they can get off their motorcycles to, moms who are staying at home and refreshing the house. Anybody walks into the shop. First, I got a dog there. So, let's start with you get greeted by a dog. His name is Snoop. Snoop's at the shop with me. He's my baby. He's a 5-year-old pit hound. He's spotty. We always joke and say that Snoop looks like the picture of a dog that you drew when you were a kid.
Okay.
With the eye.
Yeah, he's got a little black patch and he's got the little derpy face. Okay. And I got to show you Snoop. Of course, I got to show you Snoop because that's my baby. But he is just like the derpiest derp in the world. Look at Snoop.
Oh, I love it.
Imagine being greeted by that little face at a plant shop. He's super well trained. We used a training collar at the beginning of his puppydom. So he's at the door. He's greeting you. He's got his little wagging tail. And then you walk into We Grow, and it is just so refreshing. There's so much. The plants, the air feels good. The music's always nice. I think I use some what is my Apple playlist music in there? It is Brown Sugar. That's my playlist. That's the one I love so much. And it's just like so wonderful. I love it there. And so I work 7 days a week, but I always say that like I never feel like I'm working. Like
you're working.
Because that Saturday,
everybody chasing that feeling.
I'm not Jeff Bezos. I know that We Grow will not ever make me $1 million. I will probably never retire off of We Grow, right? Like I know that I will teach for my health insurance at least. but I know that that it's going to be something that I just kind of keep. And I always say that like We Grow, as long as it pays for itself, we're doing what we needed because this was a plant hobby that was just costing me too much money. I was spending so much money in soil. And finally I'm like, you know what? Let's see if it can pay for itself, and it does. And so I love that. But yeah, so I think that Scottsville and We Grow that vibe is just so the town is so cool. It's just a cool spot. It's a cool spot to be in. It's a cool business to get to have. I love all the other businesses that I get to connect with. I love all the opportunities, like getting to come here. Like, this is amazing. I was like, what, me? No, stop.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I was like, shut up. Just Daisa Pascall coming? Okay. But yeah, no, I love Scottsville so much, and I really love getting to do things with the library, and I do things with Scan, and I bring my students down. Tomorrow we're going down to Scottsville to do a alternative process to photography.
Oh, I love it.
Cool.
We're going to emulsify paper with turmeric and do sun prints.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Very
that you get to
cool.
go down into this little town. Some of the kids live there, so it's cool. They're like, oh, I know here. But some of these kids don't live here. You know, they live on Avon, the closest, you know, which again is like county, but is a city. Like, right? You know, how is this the county? And so Scottsville opens us with welcome arms, and I love being part of this community and doing what I can to support it.
How do people get in touch with you? How do people get in touch with the shop? How do people find what's going on at We Grow?
Yeah, so at We Grow Shop VA, that's V as in Victor, A as in Apple, and I am on Instagram, Facebook. I post a lot there. We're on Eventbrite. We have our own little like Eventbrite page. That's where all of the workshops and things are located. So if you want to come and do bonsai or learn how to build a bouquet or make a terrarium, we also do mobile events. Like I said, there's floristry. Yeah, so you can find me in those ways. I've got email, wegrowshopva@gmail.com. Any way that you need to. You can send a smoke signal. You can
yell real loud.
You can holler down. You can holler down.
Is there anything coming up? Is there anything? Any place you'll be, or a workshop or something that's in the next couple weeks that you want people to know about?
Yeah, so I've got my Blazing Bouquet.
Yep.
That's the 14th coming up in November. Then I'm going to be at oh gosh, what is that winery? It's so beautiful. Mount Ida. I love Mount Ida.
Mount Ida's lovely.
Also be close and have good food.
Yeah.
So I'll come to your event if you're close and have good
I almost
food.
got married at Mount Ida.
It's beautiful
It is really
there.
nice.
It's really beautiful. But my friend Kate is also their event program person. And so whenever she says, hey, do you want to come do this thing? I'm like, of course, absolutely. So I'll be there. I'll be doing a holiday market. We have reef workshops starting in the next couple of weeks.
that.
People love, all the reefs and all
Sure.
the evergreen. It smells like Christmas already.
Mariah's thawing out.
Yeah. So yeah, just a few things, nothing too serious. Just having people come out to the shop and enjoying what we've got going on there and whatnot.
You good?
Yes. I'm about to get down here.
Yeah, come out.
Stop by the shop.
Yeah, please.
Thank you to Daisa for hanging out with us. If you guys have ideas for the show or want to contact us, you can check us out on social media on all platforms at City of Promise at United Way Seville, or drop us a note, envision@unitedwayseville.org. And don't forget, that is wegrowshopva.com. And again, the 14th, check them out. November 14th?
November
Is that
14th?
next weekend?
Yeah.
What day is it? It's the 6th already? Lord have
Oh my
mercy.
God, November's
What's happening?
gone.
What's happening?
Running through here like I stole something.
Listen,
I like
need these
that.
next 3 to go just as fast.
Get after it.
All right.
We get support on the show from you guys. If you like what you hear, share it with your friends, your colleagues, subscribe on your favorite podcast platform, and of course, the best way to support us and all your wonderful local nonprofits is consider to make a contribution. Time, talent, treasure. That's how we continue our community-based work, and of course, this show. Last big shout out to our sponsor, our friends at Jefferson School Foundation. That is jeffersonschoolfoundation.org. For Daisa and Marky, the one, Markiana, the one Smith.
Peace.
This is Price. See you next week.
Bye.